Today I'm doing a guitar lesson of About a Fool by STP. First thing, your guitar is in standard tuning. Starting with the low string, it's going to be an E. Second string down is going to be an A. D, G, B, and E again. Alright, so we're going to jump into the playthrough, and then we'll do the breakdown of each guitar chord after that. Here we go. Oh, and also I'm going to dub in a bass just so you can kind of get an idea of how the recorded version goes. Here we go. Okay, so some pretty complicated chords, but nothing too seriously tough to tackle. The first chord you're going to play on this song, it's a very bossa nova kind of chord, like Antonio Carlos Jobim kind of chord. But that's going to be your 3rd fret on the low E string, 2nd fret on the D, G, and B string. And it's up to you if you want to play with a pick, or if you want to play with a with your just bare fingers. Either way will work. I think the way he plays it in the beginning, just with his fingers. But you're gonna mute that A string there. So that's the first chord. The next chord is going to be 2nd fret on the low E string. It's going to be 1st fret on the D, 2nd fret on the G, and B again. And the way my middle finger is, it's kind of right over the A string, so it doesn't make a note. That way, when you play it with the pick, you don't get that A ringing in between. That's how it sounded if I played it all together. But anyways, next chord is going to be First fret on the low E, open D. Second fret on the G, open B. And again, you're muting, in this case, I'm muting the A string with my middle finger here. To a regular A chord, which is open A string, second fret on the G, on the D, G, and B strings. So together. And the way I'm playing these chords here, I'm playing all four notes together the first time, like a strum, like a down strum. Then I hit the bass note, which is the G, third fret again. So after I hit them all together, I hit that G, then I hit these three notes, back to the G bass, back to the three notes. And you carry that pattern throughout that piece. So the next part of the song, which is the verse, so this chord is going to be an open A string, 6th fret on the D and the G string, then the 5th fret on the B string. The next chord is still keeping the A string open. Now you're going to bar the 4th fret on the D, G, B, and high E string. Notice towards the end, only towards the end do I hit that high E string. Alright, so that's it for that part. Alright guys, my camera cut out. The next chord where I left off at, the next chord is going to be basically the 4th, it's going to be the 4th fret on the low E string. Omit the A, or mute the A. 4th fret on the D, G, and B string. Now there is another way to play this one. If this is tough for you, you can play it like this, which is going to be the 4th fret, the 6th fret on the A string, and again still the 4th on the G, B, and the D, G, and B strings. So playing it like this. Next chord is going to be this is similar to the previous chord, but I'm playing the 4th on the A string, 3rd on the D string, 4th on the G and B, and high E string. As you can see with my pinky, I'm kind of it's a little awkward at first, but you'll get the hang of it. I am just playing these playing two strings with the pinky. So together. All right, the next progression is going to be So, okay, starting with the first chord, it's going to be an F sharp minor 7th. Index finger all the way across the 2nd fret, starting from the low string all the way down to the high string. And you're also playing the 4th fret on the A string here. Move that position over 2 frets, which makes it G sharp minor 7th now. Next chord is like an A major, which is open A, 7th fret on the D string, 6th fret on the G, and 5th on the B string. But now you're adding you're going to also add the 4th fret on the high E string, which gives it that major 7th sound. Next chord. This is a bit tricky to play, especially when you play it fast. You're going to play the 7th fret on the low E string, mute the A string, 6 on the D and G, and then 5th fret on the B string. Don't play the high E. You can if you want to, because these are double notes, so it's not a big deal if you do. Okay, so starting from the beginning on this progression. The next set of chords here, it's going to be the 6th fret on the low E, skip the A string or mute it, 6th fret on the D and the G, 5th fret on the the B, excuse me. Now the second part it's just the same thing, but you're moving your 5th fret on that B string, you're moving it to the 4th fret. This one right here, it's going to be the 6th fret on the A, 5th fret on the D, 5th fret on the, 6th fret on the G, and then 5th fret again on the B. And just like the previous chord, you're moving back on the 5th fret, you're moving back to the 4th fret on that B string. So together. Excuse me, so the next chord, made that a minor, but it's a major 7. That is I believe a G sharp major 7. It's going to be the 4th fret on the low E, skip the A or mute it, 5th fret on the D and G, and 4th fret on the B string. Don't play don't play the high E. Two ways you can play this one. Either the way I'm playing it is my middle finger is playing the low E string on the 5th fret, and then the 5th fret on the G and the D and G, and the 4th fret on the B. The other way you can play it is just play the open A on this string right here. The reason I don't do that, for me, it's just a preference on the tone. When you play it on this string, on that low E string, it's a little bassier sounding, a little deadened too. I don't really like those strings to ring too much. As you can notice, that A string's really bright when you play it, and to me it just sounds better, a little darker. So that's the way I play it, like that. Okay, where did I leave off? So. Oh, that's right. This chord is a A-sharp minor 7. Bar across the 6th fret and the 8th fret on the A string here. This chord, we've actually played it a few times before in a different fret, but now I'm playing it on the 6th fret of the A string, 5th fret on the D, 6 on the last 3 strings. So. Now I move that minor 7th position over to the C fret, or excuse me, not C fret, the 8th fret, which is a C minor 7. Now This is, I don't even know the name of this chord here. Probably should, but this is going to be on the 8th fret. So that's going to be 8 on the A string, 7 on the D, 8th on the G, 8th on the B, and 8th on the high E. Back to that A sharp minor 7. And then I'm playing this chord here again. After playing it, I think it's 2 times. You just loop those 2 chords, that A sharp minor 7, and then that D sharp note. And it goes to this chord, which is an E. It's an E major or major 7th or some kind of E major. That's going to be the 7th fret on the A string. Of course, you're playing the open E, the low E. 6th fret on the D, 8th fret on the G, 7th on the B, and open high E. Now it becomes some sort of an E minor, which is going to be the 7th fret, still 7th fret on A string, 5th fret on the D, 7 and 7 on the G and B. Still playing the open high E's together. That's an A major. This next chord is an A major. If you want to get it kind of a chorus sound, you'll play those 2 E's next to each other. So that's going to be the 7th fret on the D string, 6th fret on the G, and 5th fret on the B. And you're playing the A open, and you're playing that high E open, no low E. And that's really all that there is to the song. It's just a different order of riffs, but it's the same thing. If you guys have any questions, as usual, put them in the comment box below, or you can leave them on my discussion page or even Twitter. Thanks for watching, guys.